Well, you know, we said at the top of the show that we're here at Middlof Town Cycling, and we're talking about e-bikes. And for those who don't know, e-bikes are electric bikes, so just take a look. Well, we're back again at Middle of Town Cycling, which is on Bardstown Road, right behind Sullivan's Bakery. And it's always a pleasure catching up with you, Nira.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
And today we're talking about e-bikes, and those who are not familiar, it's electric bikes. And there seems to be like the new thing, they're flooding the market, and people have different opinions on it. Should I get one? When do I get one? And you're going to answer all those questions today.
E-bikes have taken the U.S. by storm, as they say it. It was not as popular or cool to have an e-bike because a lot of people were like, oh, that's cheating. But I think we've kind of gone past that point. Now, if you talk to pros, they ride e-mountain bikes. The athletes, they want to ride an e-bike because it gives them more time on the bike, more fun. It's always been good for people who have either come out of surgery or are too intimidated now or getting older, knee pain, hip pain. They just can't ride as fast or as hard as they used to. And this is the kind of a second, as you say, like a second chance for a lot of these bikers to go back on a bike, ride a bike, either with their spouse, their partner, their family, their kids, and just get out and have fun.
And when you're talking about e-bikes, do they come in different categories like road bikes and off-road bikes and cross trainers?
Yeah, so there's an e-bike for pretty much every category. In fact, there are folding e-bikes, there's e-bikes with their recumbent e-bikes, there's trike e-bikes, and so everything that you can possibly think of as a bike is now electric. A lot of people wonder, there are different classes of e-bikes. There are the ones that are the pedal assist only, and then there are bikes that are throttle based. Most bike shops don't carry the throttle, which is the class 2 category, but they do carry the class 1 and class 3, which is all it is the class 1 limits the assist up to 20 miles an hour, whereas the class 3 limits the assist up to 28 miles an hour.
So that basically means, because you were going over that with me before we started, so if I'm riding, once I get up to 20 miles an hour, it's going to cut off.
Correct.
And then if I drop my speed below 20, then it cuts back on.
Correct. So it's all about coupling and decoupling. And most people who ride an e-bike, they are not quite riding at that pace by themselves like with their own power. So if you're physically riding at 20 miles an hour, it is going to continue to assist you. And then once you're over that 20 mile an hour assist, it decouples. And the same thing with the class 3, which is a 28 mile an assist. So as long as you're physically going 28 miles an hour, the electric bike is going to continue to assist you. And just like how electric cars are, they all have different assist modes. So like the eco mode, they call it, or eco plus mode, they call it, only assists you up to 30% of your power typically. And the turbo mode, like a supercharged mode, almost 300% of your power. So if you're putting in, say 50 watts of power, it's assisting up to 300% of that 50 watts in assist. So that's how quickly it takes off. So it's a lot of fun.
And trust me, I don't want to go 28 miles an hour on a bike. So let's talk about some that we have here, and you've got a large selection. This one seems to be really cool. Let's talk about this one.
Yeah, so this one is a bike from Liv Cycling. Liv is a brand that we carry that is a women-specific brand owned by Giant, the biggest frame manufacturer in the world. But this one is the top of the line everything. It's got the 28 mile, it's a class 3 motor. Giant always does Yamaha, so there are a lot of different brands of motors out there, Yamaha, Bosch, and Shimano kind of being the more popular one. Back in Europe, you have the Bros or the Molly, but in the US, these three, the Shimano, the Bosch, and the Yamaha seems to be the most popular amongst most of the nicer e-bikes. So this one is equipped with the Yamaha motor and has everything that you can think of. It's got the dash here, it's got the hydraulic disc brakes, it's got the inbuilt lights, front and rear, it's got the fenders, front and rear, basically racks, kickstand, anything that you need to get started, ready to commute, ready to go, ready to have fun, it's in there.
And how about the one next to it?
So this is actually a basic version of this bike, so it doesn't have the fenders, it doesn't have the lights and stuff like that, so the price point's lower and you can slowly add things to it, whereas if you wanted something that's all decked out, ready to go, You can pick which one you want to pick.
All right, and if someone is looking at just an entry level, what would you show them over
So
here?
this here actually is
This one is-
our
okay.
very popular entry-level bike. This is a class 1 motor, so it goes up to 20 miles an hour assist, whereas this one goes up to a 28-mile assist. Yep.
And let's look at this one here.
Yeah, so this brand we carry is Gazelle. It's a Dutch brand. We just recently started carrying them. They are pretty simple. They are class 1, but they, at that price point of the $27.99, they are pretty much equipped with everything you need: a rack, fenders, lights, a lock, an integrated lock, so you can lock your bike so it doesn't get stolen. So everything ready to go?
So if someone is looking for an e-bike, of course they're going to come out and see you. And of course, is there like any training, anything you need to learn about riding an e-bike?
There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to take in. A lot of people are worried about how quickly the battery charges, how long the battery lasts, what kind of warranties, and we can go in depth with everything. Great company, any bike shop, any kind of bike brand that we deal with, it's going to have the best value, the best warranty. We provide free maintenance on the bike the first year, and you've got a bunch of educated staff here that will go over everything with you, so you don't have to worry about anything.
You know, one thing I found out was how the e-bikes are becoming more and more common, and how you get that assist is really cool.
I'm seeing more and more of them, and I'm seeing them all age groups. It's not just the more older, matured person, but I know they can get up to the speeds, but I think I would still be intimidated.
Yeah, and maybe with an e-bike, you might even be closer behind me.
True, but I'm coming.
You are coming. We'll take another break and back with more.